True crime TV is packed with retellings of humanity's darkest moments, but every so often, a series delivers a twist that truly shocks its audience. The final episode of Monster, the Edgein story, titled The Godfather, did just that, offering not a conclusion, but a bridge to a beloved, long-lost world. As Edgein's story closed, the narrative jumped forward, introducing new yet familiar faces, hinting at a much larger universe. This creative pivot didn't just wrap up Gain's tale, it expanded the monster anthology, connecting it to another celebrated series and suggesting these infamous stories are all part of a grander tapestry. The surprise crossover was a masterstroke, rewarding loyal viewers and sparking a firestorm of online speculation. For fans of both Monster and the referenced series, it was pure cinematic fan service, an audacious move that reignited passion for a world thought gone forever. The episode left viewers buzzing, not just about Gein, but about the thrilling possibilities of a shared true crime universe. The pivotal scene that set the internet ablaze takes place in the 1970s, years after Gein's arrest. In a sterile interview room, we meet FBI agents John Douglas and Robert Ressler, alongside Dr. Ann Burgess, not interviewing Gein, but Jerry Brudos, the shoe fetish slayer. This is where Monster and the cancelled fan favorite Mindhunter collide. Happy Anderson's chilling portrayal of Brudos and his dialogue make the connection explicit. Brudos credits Ed Gein as his inspiration. This confession cements Gein as a godfather to a new generation of killers, showing how one monster's legacy can fuel another. The casting is pitch perfect, with Sean Carrigan and Caleb Ruminer embodying Douglas and Ressler, and Megan Ketch adding depth as Dr. Burgess. Their appearance isn't just a cameo, it's a full recreation of the Mindhunter dynamic, as profilers probe the twisted psyche of a killer. The scene feels like a lost episode, thrilling fans and serving a vital narrative purpose for the Edgein story. It frames Gein's impact in a broader context, arguing that to understand the serial killers of the 70s and 80s, you must first understand the man who came before. The horrors of Gein's farmhouse became a dark touchstone for future killers like Brudos. This crossover brilliantly concludes Gein's story by showing his influence never truly died. It's a haunting reminder that evil leaves a legacy. The inclusion of John Douglas and Robert Ressler is significant. They were real-life pioneers in criminal profiling. In the 1970s, they traveled to prisons, interviewing notorious killers like Charles Manson and Jerry Brudos, searching for patterns to help catch future offenders. Douglas's empathetic approach, thinking like the killer, revolutionized investigations, while Ressler coined the term serial killer. Together, they created the system for classifying violent criminals, transforming law enforcement from reactive to proactive. Their work grounds the Edgein story in real-world criminology, showing how Gein's crimes forced the FBI to evolve. By featuring Douglas and Ressler, the series highlights the real consequences of Gein's actions, not just for his victims, but for the future of criminal investigation. Monsters like Gein and Brudos made the FBI realize they needed a new kind of investigator, one who could venture into the darkest corners of the human mind. Before serial killer was a household term, there was Ed Gein, a murderer whose grotesque acts left a permanent scar on American culture. Gein's crimes went beyond murder. He exhumed corpses and crafted household items from human remains, making him both a figure of fascination and horror. His story inspired cinema's most iconic villains. Norman Bates, Leatherface, and Buffalo Bill all owe their origins to the Plainfield Ghoul. Gein introduced the public to a new kind of monster, one driven by a fractured psychology, not greed or passion. The finale of the Edgein story cements his legacy as the Godfather, showing how his widely publicized crimes became a blueprint for others. For killers like Brudos, Gein's story was validation, a sign that the most unspeakable fantasies could be acted upon. Gein's influence is both cultural and criminal, a dark inspiration passed down through generations. He became the prototype for the monster next door, a quiet man hiding unimaginable secrets. His legacy endures, haunting both pop culture and the annals of true crime. To understand the monster, you must know the man. Ed Gein grew up in rural Wisconsin, isolated and dominated by a fanatical mother who taught him the world was evil. After losing his family, Gain's unhealthy attachment to his mother left him unmoored, sealing her rooms as shrines while the rest of the house decayed. Alone with his mother's memory, Gain's darkest impulses grew, leading to grave robbing and murder. When police entered his home in 1957, they found a scene of unimaginable horror. Body parts turned into household items, and a woman's suit made from skin. Gain was found not guilty by reason of insanity and spent his life in psychiatric institutions. His story is a chilling case study in the effects of isolation, abuse, and untreated mental illness. Unlike calculating predators, Gain was a socially inept man consumed by his mother's ideology and his own grotesque fantasies. His life is a grim reminder of how nature and nurture can conspire to create a monster. Monster. The Edgein story takes creative liberties, most notably by linking Gein to Ilse Koch, the infamous Nazi war criminal. In the series, Gein's supposed love interest introduces him to Koch's story, suggesting it inspired his gruesome crafts. In reality, there's no evidence Gein ever knew of Koch. This connection is pure fiction. The real Edelinewatkins denied any romantic or true crime connection with Gein. Her character is heavily dramatized for the show. Koch's legend, especially the claim she made lampshades from human skin, is a mix of fact and post-war myth. The show uses this lurid version to draw a parallel with Gein, exploring the theme of evil ideas spreading across time and culture. While historically inaccurate, the subplot serves a dramatic purpose, suggesting Gein's actions weren't an anomaly, but part of a darker human potential. It's a powerful device, but one that blurs the line between history and fiction. The series uses it to frame Gein's horror as part of a broader, chilling legacy. The Mindhunter crossover isn't the only surprise in the finale. In a brief, chilling sequence, we see a man in a yellow Volkswagen Beetle, arm in a cast, luring a woman, an unmistakable nod to Ted Bundy. Bundy's signature ruse and car are instantly recognizable to true crime fans. This haunting vignette expands the show's universe, placing Gein, Brudos, and Bundy in the same narrative timeline. It's a dark Easter egg, rewarding viewers' knowledge and adding another layer of dread. By connecting these infamous killers, the show constructs a cinematic universe of serial predators, a chilling reminder of the era's pervasive danger. Why do stories about killers like Gein, Bundy, and Brudos captivate us? The monster crossover reveals our deep fascination with the macabre. True crime lets us confront darkness from a safe distance, creating archetypes, the monster, the victim, the investigator, to help us process real-world horror. Mindhunter was beloved for exploring the why behind the crimes, and Monster's finale taps into that same desire for understanding. By linking Gein's story to that world, the show suggests even the most bizarre crimes can be analyzed and, perhaps, prevented. Shared universes make the experience richer, connecting stories and raising the stakes. Each killer's story is a piece of the larger puzzle of human violence. The crossover excites fans because it promises more connections, more mysteries, and a deeper dive into the minds of monsters. It's the allure of the puzzle, and the hope that by studying evil, we might one day stop it. The conclusion of Monster. The Edgein story didn't just end Gein's tale, it opened the door to a sprawling true crime universe. By crossing over with Mindhunter, the series set a precedent for future seasons to explore the connections and legacies linking infamous cases. This strategy keeps audiences engaged, encouraging them to hunt for clues and Easter eggs in every episode. The finale is a perfect bridge to what's next, the upcoming Lizzie Borden installment, with fans now wondering how her story will connect to the larger tapestry. The series has proven it can be both historically informative and creatively bold. It honored the real-life horror of Gein, while building a fictional universe that excites and rewards its audience. The crossover was a masterstroke, a gift to fans, and a signal that the monster universe is just beginning to reveal its full, terrifying scope. Ed Gein's legacy is cemented, and the stage is set for the next chapter in this dark saga.